Hello, SOC 135 class. We are going to focus in this module about population composition. But before that, let's discuss the theory of population growth, which includes two theories, Malthusian theory and demographic transition theory. The Malthusian theory was by Thomas Robert Malthus, who was an English economist and clergyman. He theorized that population increase may bring about social chaos because the increase is of geometric progression, that it's like 2, 4, 8, and so on in these numbers. So at such a rate, Malthus concluded world population would soon soar out of control. And this is now the reproduction. Now, what about food production? So he said that it's only of arithmetic progression compared to the geometric. So it's like you plant 1 plus 1 equals 2 only. Now, even with no agricultural technology, farmland is limited. And in fact, there are some farmers who don't even own a farm. So while food production is 1 plus 1 equals 1, the 1 plus 1 here may bring about 5 children, 10 children. Okay. Thus, Malthus presented a distressing vision of the future, people reproducing beyond what the planet could feed, leading ultimately to widespread starvation and war over what resources were left. And that's a scary situation. Look at this map of the world. The richest countries' growth rates is below 1%. Canada, United States, Russia, Australia, these colors here, and New Zealand. Latin America and Asia, on the other hand, the growth rates are around over 1.5%. Africa, the growth rate of 2.4%. Okay, look at this dark green here. Hence, society's standard of living is closely related to its rate of population growth. Population is rising fastest in the world. Regions that can least afford to support more people. Like the poorer the people, the more children they have. Now, next theory, the demographic transition theory. There is the thesis that links population patterns to society's level of technological development. There are three phases or stages here, but other researchers or scientists, social scientists, have modified this to include the fourth stage, the fifth stage. So let's just discuss the three stages. In the first phase, high birth rate, high death rate, that was during the pre-industrial agrarian societies. The high birth rate was brought about by looking at or considering children as of economic value, more children, more hands in the farm, and there was no birth control. So high death rate, low standard of living, and limited healthcare system. Simple diseases at that time, people could die. And here, the high birth rate and low death rate, that was the onset of industrialization, where there were more food supplies and the introduction of scientific medicine. So diseases were already cured, so low death rate. Whereas the birth rate continues and there was population boom. That's when Malthus made his theory. Phase 3, that was already when industrial economy was more mature. So the low birth rate because of the birth control method introduction, and because of that, instead of children as assets, children became liabilities. It's more expensive to have children at this time. So the low death rate, more advances in medicine. So even when there are people who are already brain dead, they are still alive in the ICU, hooked to many tubes. So this is now what I've told you about with another stage added or phase. In this phase, so we have discussed this. level of technology here, and the stage 4 or phase 4 post-industrial with the population growth that is very slow. So the birth rate and death rate here. Now let us now go to the composition. So of this particular definition, let's just focus on the composition, which in particular would be age and sex composition, which the proportion for every age group. Now, as a review, this is the most basic characteristics of a population. Now, the age can be young, old, or median, and the sex, that's the number and proportion of males and females in each age group for the two concepts altogether, which structure can have considerable impact on the population's current and future social and economic situation. Now, the sex ratio of males to females in a given population is usually expressed as the number of males for every 100 females. Or as a formula, you're going to have this um, number of males divided by number of females times K, or 1,000 times 1,000. If sex ratio will total to 100, then the balance of male and females. If the sex ratio's total is more than 100, then there's predominance of males than females. If the sex ratio is below 100, there is predominance of females. So it's an example, okay, in Plainsville, Kansas, the sex ratio is 89. So there's predominance of females here because the population is aging. In India, there the sex ratio was 108, so predominance of female of males because the population is younger and because in India they value sons more than daughters, which may either abort a female fetus or give more care to male children, which is detrimental to the survival of the female children. So the sex ratio at birth in most countries is about 105 males per 100 females. Okay. But the sex ratio vary because of different patterns of mortality, deaths, and migration movements of people for both the males and the females within the population. Now the age-sex pyramid now it's a graphic representation of the age and sex of a population which looks like this. The high-income nations have boxes shaped like this in the United States. This is brought about by relatively low birth rate and low death rate. So you see this boxy type. Whereas the low-income nations have pronounced pyramid shape. So you can see the shape here, which is brought about by high birth rate and death rate. So you see there, it's young population. But when they reach the old population, it's same. There are more females than males. Because of the abuses of the males to their bodies, they tend to die younger, earlier than females. So these are other examples of the age sex pyramid, which I've already shown you before. So these are the countries with the highest populations in the world of over billions. So China, it looks like this, and India like a pyramid. And the Philippines and Japan as a first world country in comparison to Philippines is same continent in Asia, but in comparison to France, which is in Europe, so you see the differences of their shapes. Philippines has this pyramid pronounced shape, whereas look at this, like a rocket shape of their age, sex, structure.